Hello, everybody. Last video on a Friday. Dave Neal, stand-up comic here, Bachelor Nation News host, power recapper extraordinaire. Let's get into it. We've got Clayton saying, I wasn't in love with all three. He's changed his tune, and I believe him. He thought he was in love with three. He realized it wasn't what he thought it was. Hey, you know what? We're allowed to change our mind when we're presented with more information. And boy, maybe the hot seat helped him come to that conclusion. Let's get right into it. Do me a favor, follow me on Instagram at DNeals, and you can also join me on Patreon for extra bonus content, patreon.com/Dave Neal. So I'm not going to read this whole thing. Bachelor Clayton Echard no longer believes he was in love with all three of his finalists. Looking back at it, in those moments, I believed it. I really did believe I was in love with them. When I was there on the show, the 28-year-old tells Us Weekly he's here for the right reasons. But as I've now taken the time to reflect and look back, I believe that I got to the point where I was falling in love with everybody, and then it got to the point where I was only in love with Susie. And the best comment I've ever read about this right here, I'll take things you say to appease your new girlfriend for 100, Alex. And look, it's not to say it's not true. Who are we to define what is love and what isn't love? If love is a 9 out of 10 and like is an 8.9 out of 10, he could have been at 8.8 out of 10 with all three of them, thinking that was love because he never got to the threshold of love. Does that make sense? And then all of a sudden, Susie presses into the 9.1, 9.2, and he's like, I love Susie. Those ones I liked. Have you guys, leave a comment. Have you never been in a relationship where you thought you loved someone and then you got out of that fog, that oxytocin chemical bond that exists when you make whoopee palmers hug, breastfeed. Oxytocin is dumped when you give someone an affirmation, when you trust somebody, when you do whoopee, when you reach orgasm with somebody, you dump oxytocin, some more than others, depending on the situation, and that's called the commitment molecule. Oxytocin, and again, I know what you're saying. Well, he didn't even get there with Susie. Well, doesn't that show the love? That he didn't even do the whoopee with her, and he still knew she was the one. So what I'm trying to say is this. I didn't know I was going to make this video and call it whoopee, but here we are. Screwing the pooch wasn't the only thing that dumped oxytocin. Dumped it all over, actually, I'm imagining. So the point being is that we've all gotten out of that haze, and we realized I thought I was in love once, and then I got a job, and it turns out I was just bored. I needed a job. I needed money. I needed other things to do. I was putting all my energy and all my focus into this relationship that couldn't sustain itself. Love is, we all know what love is, right? You guys love my channel, or you like it? 9.2? All right, let's keep it going. So anyway, I love the weirdness that is coming from their Instagram and YouTube, Susie's TikTok as well, on first conversation with Clayton in Iceland. Here it is.
You should be medicated. Fuck you, Brennan. I know you touched my drum set, and I want to hear that dirty little mouth admit it.
You get out of my face, or I'm gonna roundhouse your ass.
You swear to your mom's life that you didn't touch it then.
I don't have to swear to shit.
All right, first person that can name that movie gets a prize. That's a great movie, by the way. That is a good movie. The whole part where they have the bunk beds and they can do sports or do activities, I think is okay. You guys get the point. That might not be the same demographic here, but they received so many comments from people being like, "Oh my gosh, they have personality," even if the bar was set low. This is a different girl than was presented during the season. Another fun personality, totally erased. Thank you, producers. And then someone says she's just lip syncing lines to a movie, and it's like, well, that just goes to show these videos are so weird together, but that weirdness is what actually makes me think they might last. I think it's a pretty important bond to have in a relationship, like an inside joke that none of us get. But at the end of the day, we don't need to. Reminds me of Matt and Rachel. Bingo! Ding, ding, ding! When the post-show social media engagement subsides, they won't have any more fuel. They're literally running on drama right now and feeding feedback on dumb videos like this one. That's what they're doing in their relationship. That is what a negative viewpoint that people have. By the way, if you didn't get to my earlier video, I made a fascinating video based on this comment here, saying that I can afford all these vacations because I ask people for donations. You gotta watch this video. It's hilarious. It's probably my best video of the week. It's the one about chatty broads. We get into all of it. I don't want to relitigate it here. You got to go back and watch it. It's pretty interesting. I don't mind when people criticize me, but don't expect me to not defend myself and come back at you. You know what I mean? Anyway, so let's read some of the other comments that he had from saying that he's no longer believes he's in love with three people. And by the way, you have to remember, they're sleep deprived. They don't have social media or jobs or anything else to do. So he's gung ho on all these different relationships, and then he realizes, okay, you know what? Maybe I was a little overboard. We've all been there late at night, a couple shots of limoncello, telling people we love them when we really don't. Come on now, folks. Admittedly, I only watched the last 2 nights, but he does not have much dating experience. Someone said he has a lot of sex sexual experience, according to reports. But that's just. But yeah, it doesn't seem like he's had a serious relationship for some time since he was in his early 20s. So anyway, yeah, look, the guy, the guy didn't know what to do with all this love that he was feeling. You know what I mean? So here is, let's go to what I believe to be. Here's Clayton's page. Well, listen to. He was on the Paris Hilton podcast, which, by the way, sounds like a pass for me.
Since the finale, like, what have you learned off camera that we haven't seen?
Susie is incredibly weird.
How great is this that I click on the Paris Hilton podcast and we don't even hear Paris Hilton? Now, no offense to Paris Hilton. She was slut-shamed and she deserves an apology from a lot of people. She really does. But at the same time, I'm not going to tune into a podcast based on someone who's well-known by being a hotel heiress. Although the Hilton change is pretty good. Big DoubleTree energy. Anyway, so let's just listen.
Weird.
Susie's weird. So here's Susie, day one out in public, and she's already stealing my clothes and making me film her everywhere we go. Welcome to the club, bro. You are now a moving tripod. That's all you are.
Man, she's classy, sassy.
Gotta get that boyfriend, Instagram boyfriend energy. So there they are, going back to the Uber Black, and it says, Clayton, take my picture so everyone can see I'm carrying your bags. I'll take things that weren't said for 500, Alex. And then there's a photo from Susie. Virginia is for lovers. There they are. Very backlit. Did they set this photo on a timer? But hey, this is adorable. They no longer have to go to safe house visits. They can just live their life. Sure, they're going to lose traction once their story's not as interesting anymore. But take a hint from Rachel Kirkconnell and Matt James. People will want to follow you if you share love, make people smile. You know, like I always say, if anyone wants to get into YouTube or express themselves with different social media, information and or entertainment or a combination of the both. If they can entertain people, make them smile, and show them a new slice of life, I'm glad they're going to live in Virginia. I don't know that much about Virginia. I really don't. It'll be nice to see, them, going out to diners and doing whatever they do. Are they coal mining? What do you do in Virginia? Let me know, some of my Virginia people. Oh, don't get all mad. Oh, no, that's West Virginia. No, sorry, that's 20 miles that way. How come there's no East Virginia? We can't just do Virginia and West Virginia. North Dakota gets a South Dakota. North Carolina gets a South Carolina. There's no West Kentucky, right? Am I missing? Are there any states where there's a West but no East? Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, folks. Well, that's going to be it for me. I truly implore you to go check out my Chatty Broads video. I'm in full support of people charging whatever price they want for whatever content they make. And hey, the audience will either show up or they won't. I appreciate you guys for showing up. I appreciate the 216 Patreon members that are really supportive, that help us make content every single day or on a lot of days. And thank you guys so much for making this one of the most successful weeks of my YouTube channel. We had 2,200 active live subscribers, live streamers on Tuesday's after show. It made my day. It was so great to even just get a glimpse into what is possible out there. So thank you guys so much for such a great week. I hope you appreciate me giving you guys extra content out of appreciation. I'll talk to y'all later. Happy Friday, everybody.